Life offers us many things, and yet it does not offer us a guarantee. Each moment truly is a gift, not one that we are guaranteed to have, not one that may not arrive without something to navigate. And often we either forget this, lose sight of it, or never even give it thought. It's easy to move about the days of our lives as if each moment is free and clear of any issue, ailment, hardship, challenge, that the way of our going will be always in flow, smooth sailing. But the truth is, things show up in every moment for someone, somewhere, maybe it's you, is navigating a very, very difficult matter. Someone somewhere is faced with a hardship beyond their ability to fathom, and yet it is right there resting atop their lap. What does it take for us to remember the truth of this? That the ease we experience isn't to be taken for granted. The ease we're experiencing does not come with a guarantee to always be there. How ready are we for a twist, a turn, a valley? And it's real. Grief is real. Illness is real. And these are things that are important for us to be aware of, to be mindful of, and not because we are focused on doom and gloom. No, quite the contrary. To know that our ease is happening in this moment and may not happen in the next is to turn us toward gratitude. It's to remind us of the beauty of ease, to remind us of the beauty of joy, the beauty of flow, because it is not always easeful, beautiful, and in flow. And so when we are in the throes of a hardship, when we're wishing it away, wishing it to be other than it is, that's when we come face to face with the reality of contrast. And we can think back, oh, I remember when I was stressed out and overwhelmed when I received the terrible news, when I was on my knees in grief, deeply sad, depressed even. And now I'm on the other side. And when we are in the midst of a hardship, as we do our best to meet it and to ride the wave of it, may we be reminded of the gift of ease. Because it isn't a guarantee and it will not always be long lasting. Life ebbs and flows. It offers us many things, but a guarantee is not one of those. Change is the only permanent. Change is the one thing that we can count on. And I'm thinking today about many people who are faced with very hard and challenging matters, very potent news, the kind of news that can bring you to the floor, drop you forward, make you stay there, sort of curled up in a fetal position. I'm thinking about a few people. And it has me to remember how important it is to take stock of our lives, to not let the days go by mindlessly, as if we get time back, as if we get do-overs. When my father died shortly thereafter, I remember going to a spiritual reader. It may have been the second time I had ever done that. The first was when I was about 19, and so this was in my late 20s. And the reader pulled a death card, just flipped it over, death card, and she began talking about my father. Now, mind you, I had not given her any information. And she said he wanted a do-over. He wanted a do-over. You know, in life, we don't get those. We don't get do-overs. So while we're right now in the living reality of our lives, this is our time to do things differently, to pay attention to ourselves, our lives. Again, take stock of your life and begin organizing your life in such a way that it shows you're giving it thought. My partner and I started talking about all of the things connected to end of life planning, because guess what? It's real. Old age is a gift, not a guarantee. And somehow we put things off for later. Oh, I'll get to that. So we talked about, well, if something happened to me next week, what would you know? What wouldn't you know? What information is available to you? And it's an important conversation. If you have someone in your life, sit down with that someone or those someones and have that conversation. If I leave today and never come back, what would you need to know? And I say that because as we recognize that life is a gift and not a guarantee, and as we take stock of our lives, particularly as I think about people facing hardship and difficult news in this moment, we have to realize that it could be us. We only think, oh, it's them over there, until it's you right here, until it's me right here. So it's important to give thought to all of those things. What are your wishes? Do people or the right person have access to what they would need to have access to if your life suddenly ended? This is what I mean when I say take stock. We have to pause and really care so much about our lives that we think on these very difficult things, rather than feeling like, well, if I talk about that, I'm manifesting it. No, no, no. Death just is. Death just is. There's no manifesting death. Death is the result of life. It is the effect of the cause of being born. And so to pause and really itemize insurance or passwords or all of those things and put them in an envelope and seal that and tuck it away for an in case I ever need moment. That's important, because life offers us not a single guarantee. And to think that we will outlive death is to not be with gratitude for the moment. It's to not be in the reality that nothing is promised. And so today I want to inspire, encourage, and invite us to take a pause. Living with a pause is just, it's a practice worth practicing. It is worthy. Take a pause and begin to take stock of our lives and to have hard conversations, to be able to delve into the layers of things that are very difficult, so that if something should come along, you are not completely unprepared. Because the emotional aspect of devastating news is one thing, and it's a big thing. The logistics, that's another. And when we are in the throes of the emotional gravity, having to deal with logistics, that's hard. That's how people make very expensive emotional decisions. So before you find yourself in that valley, before you find yourself on your knees, before you are lying on the floor, curled up in a fetal position, give it all some thought. Love yourself well in all of the moments. Let gratitude guide you as much as you possibly can, which means we have to be awake to the possibility of all of the moments that should arise. And so I'm thinking about the beauty of life, this human experience, how magical and mysterious the way it is, and how just as the sun quickly becomes a hailstorm, there aren't any guarantees. So how might we meet ourselves with as much mindful presence and practice and planning as we can, so that we can be a little less weighted down and more present and available to navigate and ride the waves. Life is a gift, even when we are faced with great devastation. And perhaps that's what makes devastation so devastating, because we want to be here in this living realm. So while we are here, may we not lose sight of the gift of life. May we remember that it owes us nothing, and yet we owe ourselves everything. May we be awake to that.